Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Today we have a quick 1 hour session, I hope, in which we want to achieve this list. So first, we want to fix the session guard, because at the moment, and this is what we see if the session is invalid. What we want to do is redirect to the login screen of Hesk and possibly give it a URL back to the payment system, if that's possible, because perhaps it only accepts the URI, not the full URL. So if that's possible, we'll do that. If not, that's fine too. But we need to redirect to the login screen. Then we want to add a fetched Hesk ticket to the storage. We have our storage class that fetches our stuff, and at the moment it doesn't really do much. And once we added that fetch ticket, we want to replace all those manual calls that we have in the controllers. When we pull the ticket, we just call on the table, we just call find by track ID. So we want to replace that, just give the method track ID and give me the ticket. Next, we want to add a payment requests page. So that's the page in the admin where we put the ticket track ID, hit OK. Some validation happens to make sure that the ticket is open, so we can attach the payment requests. If not, we redirect to the page where we can just see the status of the payment request, whether it was paid or not, but we can't add anymore because the ticket has been closed. Actually, once the ticket is closed, I think the payment system also won't let you do the payments. When you go to the link to pay for the ticket, it will not let you pay because the ticket has been closed. So in either case, we don't even need to display. But yeah, we can display like the history. Ticket has been closed after the payments were done, so we want to review how much money was paid for the ticket. And that second page where we do that validation and we display all the data, current payment requests, and if the ticket is open, allow the user to add more payment requests, modify current payment requests, or remove them. Maybe not even modify, just, if we need to update the payment request, just delete the old one and add a new one. We don't even need to update anything. Okay, so let's start with the guard. For that purpose, I took a liberty of creating the environment helper and two environment variables that will represent our Hesk URL and payment system URL. So this is hesk.local at the moment, and this is payments.hesk.local. In this environment, obviously in production it'll be different. So let's close what we don't need. Scratch, we can leave it there. The loader middleware, we don't need to change anything over here because this one only loads. See, that could have been done in one single middleware where we load this and validate, but I broke it in two with a expectation that perhaps some routes, I will want some routes to load that information, but for that information to be optional. If you're logged in, then here's the information, otherwise you don't have that information. Or maybe make a decision based on whether that information is there or not necessarily just put the guard on it, and if you don't have the session, you can't get in. So where's our middlewares? Session guard middleware. So here we just die if the user is empty. So let's create a response here. But not the client. CakePHP response. And now here we want to return the response, but with location, and the location will be from the environment helper. We want Hesk URL and /admin. And actually, let's just do this. Let's just save one line of code here, like so. And then we just return response. Goodbye. Invalid session. We can't use a Flash because it's a separate application. We could probably hack that, or maybe use Hesk Flash, because most likely there's Hesk is going to utilize a session to display the hash. But can we hijack Hesk session? No, we cannot, because session is cookie based, or the cookie tells the PHP which session to start, and that cookie will be available only to the Hesk application, not to the payment application. So yeah, so the only option would be to just use the URI query parameters to convey that information. So let's not overcomplicate it. Not an admin user. Okay, so you are logged in to Hesk, but you're not an admin. But you are logged in. You don't need to be a super admin. And I expect that, you know, the account that my wife has in this system is not an administrative account. It's a, you know, customer service account. So she would not be able to enter it. So we're going to remove this restriction. So you only have to be a user, and yeah, and it needs to be a instance of Hesk user. Now let's refresh, and we should be redirected to Hesk admin screen. Yep. So now let's log in and go to, yeah, I'll probably add a menu item over here to go to payments, but for now we just need to do payments.hesk.local/admin. That's our page. So now let's move on to the other one. So this one's done. Fetch Hesk tickets in storage service. We can fetch Hesk user. Okay, that's a low-hanging fruit. Public function fetch Hesk ticket string track ID, and Hesk ticket will be returned or exception thrown. We should have dedicated exception for that, but this is not exactly a user-facing feature. This is the kind of administrator-facing feature. So we don't need to be too mindful of the user experience, because it's not exactly the user that will be using it. This database fetch table Hesk tickets, Hesk tickets. Is that's what it's called? Hesk tickets table. Yep. And we want to find, either find or select query. This has been deprecated in the query, because before you could run query, but since this query doesn't make any assumptions whether you want to read the database or write to the database, and that's an important information, because based on that you might pick a either read-only database or a writable database. So for that reason we can either do select query here, or update query, or delete query, right? So these are dedicated to those options. Equivalent of select query. Archie, thank you. Equivalent of select query is find. It's just shorter, that's why I use find, but underneath the hood it just calls select query anyways. So it's pretty much almost an alias. It's shorter, that's why I use this one. And we want to add a condition where track ID is a provided track ID, and we want first, and we return that. It's complaining that first returns an interface, entity interface, but it obviously will be an instance of Hesk ticket. Then in our, let's go to pages controller, and make payment. So make payment is this make payment, and we need a ticket ID. Let's grab some ticket ID from payment requests, maybe this one. And we have two of these. So now we're gonna make a change over here, remove these, and we need to storage service, and from the storage service we want to fetch Hesk ticket by track ID, ticket ID. So that saved us a few lines. Now let's refresh. Does it work? It does not. No, it does. Okay. Because I wasn't sure if I registered the storage service in the application. Yep, here it is. Storage service. Okay. So that is in pages controller, but where else do we fetch Hesk ticket? Here. Storage service, fetch Hesk ticket by ticket ID. That's our success. As you can see, we have the URLs hard-coded here, and in many places we have URLs hard-coded. Also, we use templates instead of named routes. That is also on the list to improve. So that was in pages controller, and we have a payment controller, which also probably fetches tickets. We don't want to touch the webhook because the testing of webhook is a bit problematic. Hesk tickets, fine. My Hesk ticket is here. So payment service and storage service. And from the storage service, we will call fetch Hesk ticket by ticket ID, which means we don't need this. Okay, that was it. And is there any other ticket fetching? This is custom payment probably, so we don't have tickets. Yeah, this is custom. Okay, so this is done. Done and done. Okay, so now to the more interesting stuff. That was boring. We need a new page. So let's get back to our admin. On this page, how about we just display the open tickets so you can select one. That'll be a lot easier for the operator, because remember, the operator is basically non-technical person. It's the operator, right? They know finances, they know customer service and stuff like that, but they don't know technicals. So we need to keep that in mind. So having that in mind, oops, I closed my Scratch file. Okay, but that's fine. That's the problem of Scratch files. Is there any way we can... No, it's not going to be saved. That's why it's called Scratch file. It doesn't save. That's alright though. Okay, we want admin controller, but not admin controller test. Admin controller. We have the dashboard here. We're rendering dashboard, so let's open the dashboard too. And I think we have a bootstrap here. So first let's do div class container and div class card and div class card body. Alright, well, let's do h3 class card. Was it text or title? Title, because text is inside. And we have outstanding or open tickets. Open tickets. And we're gonna have a table class table. I don't know if we need to use table body or not, but we'll see. Table row, table data. Let's do track ID. Yeah. Probably some date. Let's do what is on the ticket. We have the title, right? Description, all that, but description is not inside the Hesk ticket. We do have a status, but we're only gonna fetch tickets that are open. Total requested. So we'll do a total amount requested here, right? And TD, and here we'll have the link that will redirect us to the like the management screen, that kind of stuff. And here we'll have a for each tickets as ticket. Like so. The tickets doesn't exist yet, so let's just so the page doesn't crash, let's just do tickets is empty array, just so we can pass the code, just so the code compiles. Now let's just refresh, see what we get. Okay. Oh, manage. This is not gonna be href, so this is actually just going to be empty because the manage will be on each row that has the ticket. There. Now in our controller, so we're gonna need storage. Open tickets is storage service. We can fetch ticket, we can fetch user, and we can fetch products. So we want to fetch open tickets. Fetch open tickets will return an array, but that's going to be an array of Hesk ticket. And we'll do this fetch table. Oops, fetch table. No, this database fetch table Hesk tickets. And we're gonna do find where, and I think that was status. Hesk ticket. Track ID, name, blah, 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 status. What is status? Let's go to our Hesk tickets and see status is now. Category, priority, message. Why is status so far? So 0 is probably, let's go to our interface and see our tickets. Oh, /admin. Let's see our tickets and compare. Let's see, the QM is 2. QM is 2 because it's replied. New is 0. This is the 1. Yes, the YY1 it's new. That is status 0. So status 3. What is status 1 though? Status 3 seems to be closed because we have closed at date. So we want status none 3. So status in, and I think it's supposed to be an array, or we just need to do this. 0, 1, 2. I'm not sure this is going to work. Because it's either we either have to have an array of ints here or a string like this. Let's see. We're all, and we want to return that, but all to array. So it's only because when you return the multiple entities from the fetch table, from the ORM, this will be a single class that wraps all those results. And in this case, we want to return an array of tickets. So to array, will not turn individual entities into arrays, but rather turn the result set from the object of result set into an array of results. So that's why toArray is over here. Now, let's see, open tickets, and actually let's just do this. var dump open tickets. Yeah. And just die. Just to see what we're getting from the we cannot convert value string to integer. Check numeric. Okay, so that is what we expected. So let's replace this with an array and see if that works. Yep, that works. So it was supposed to be an array. Okay, and we have all our open tickets. Now we have too many tickets. Let's, in that case, we should have 2. So yeah, we have 2. Okay, so perfect. So we have 2 open tickets, in which case on our dashboard we can now do our trick. So we want to annotate our tickets array, or Hesk ticket, like so. That way the IDE will know what to recommend us. So we're gonna do table row, table data, ticket, and track ID. Yeah, then the total requested, we don't know. We don't know how to do that yet. And here we'll have an href will be, manage. Let's refresh this. Undefined in the undefined variable tickets. Yeah, sure is. Tickets, open tickets. There. Now it's not undefined. Now we have our tickets. Now we want to manage, which means let's go to routes and add our management endpoint, which will be get, which will be admin. Oh, no admin. The ticket. I always struggle with this, how to arrange the URL template. But we'll do ticket ID /manage. Our controller will be admin, and our action will be manage ticket. So that is our route. This render and manage ticket. Now let's create that template. What are the templates? Admin, PHP file, manage tickets. .php. No, manage ticket. Manage ticket. That's fine. Now, the important part I forgot is the name of the route. Let's do admin manage ticket. That's what it's going to be called. In which case, I can do this. In our dashboard, our URL will be generated based on the route name. We want name to be admin.manage ticket, and our ticket ID will be ticket track ID. Like so. Now this will validate just a refresh over here will validate that everything works. Now if that was now suppose I didn't put the mandatory argument parameter, the route parameter, so I'll just misspell it over here. If you refresh, missing route, right? Admin manage tickets, failed matching, but it will tell you that the route matching the name was found, but failed matching, because it requires a parameter, which is yeah, we don't see it here, but yeah, oh, here, template ticket ID. Thank you. Okay, so I got a lot of distractions here because my son is playing Roblox. Alright, so now we can manage each ticket. Now we want to get total requested. There's two ways to do it. There's actually plenty of ways to do it. We could build a query that will join the payment request table and then run an aggregate the sum of all the requests that the status is unpaid. And that could take place in the storage. But that means we no longer operate on the entities, but instead on arrays. So if that be the case, I will just do this. Let's do unpaid requests. That will be an array, and we're gonna iterate over open tickets. And unpaid request ticket track ID will be oh, that was in payment service, right? Payment service, get unpaid payment request, get outstanding total for ticket. So now we essentially have a map of tickets, track ID, and the outstanding balance. So let's set this for the view. So this will be balance map, whatever, unpaid payment requests. This is manage tickets dashboard So here we're just gonna do this. First, let's annotate it. This is not required. This is just for making it easy for anyone to jump on the view to change something, and just instead of tracing and tracking down the controller's actions and where we said what we said and what is in those variables and stuff, you just have an annotation over here that we have. I already forgot what I called it. I called it balance map, and that is array. So we want to, from our balance map, ticket track ID, and that will need to be divided by 100 because it's in cents. And we can just add 00 over here and just add a $sign. That should give us the balance for each ticket. Yep. So totally requested this one 35 and this one 60. All right. Okay, so having that, now let's move on to the manage page. In manage page, we got a ticket ID from this get request get param ticket ID. That's our ticket ID. So now let's fetch our ticket, our Hesk ticket. But let's do we're gonna need payment service and we're gonna need storage service. So from storage service we're gonna fetch Hesk ticket by ticket ID. From requests will be from our payment service fetch, right, because this is not fetch, this is get. Now get unpaid payment requests, IDs, get outstanding balance. Okay, so let's do this. Get payment requests, get all payment requests for ticket ID. Why do we need that? Well, we want to display it for, you know, the customer, because sometimes it is like that. We just kind of, you know, the ticket is received, the job is estimated, and the client wants to pay right away. So we calculate shipping and everything that needs to be done. Client paid, and during the repair during the repair something else is discovered, and the client also wants that to be done as well, and that's an extra charge of $30. So we attach another payment request to that ticket. So some of them are paid, some of them are unpaid, right? So in this case we want to display all of them. Some of them were paid, some of them were not paid. And this returns an array, and that's an array of payment request, BHR payment request, yes, and an array. So we want to BHR payment requests, and we want to find where, and I think on my BHR payment request, this is also called track ID. Because I wasn't sure if I called it something else, but I'm glad I followed the pattern. Track ID is ticket ID. Yes, and we want to get all and to array, and we just want to return that. There's very little what do you call it, error handling at the moment. I mean, in this one you don't really need an error handling here because we're fetching all of them, but when you fetch one, especially when you call get or you select by some other non-primary key, you will return null, and if your return value is declared as an entity, that will cause a exception, that will throw an exception. So we have all requests. So now let's just give it to the view. So that will be, let's do ticket, Hesk ticket and requests. There. Now on manage ticket, let's do our annotation. So we have a variable ticket, which is Hesk, yes, Hesk ticket entity. The other one is the array of BHR payment requests. It's called requests, and that's BHR payment request entity, and that's an array. Okay, so let's do a container, and actually let's give it empty3 just to push it a little further, and I was supposed to do that on the dashboard too. Let's go back to dashboard. You see how it's this is way too high. And this doesn't look right. Oh, that's why. Here, this will look a lot better. Oh, now it'll look better. There. Okay, but we also want margin top, maybe 3, just to push it down a little. There. Yeah, 3 is okay. I just don't want it to just hang on this, on the bar, on the navigation bar. Manage tickets. So here we have it, and let's do div class card. Div class card body. No misspelling this time. Div class, no, not div, card text, and that will be h3. Payment requests for ticket track ID. That'll do. Let's see, this one will have 2. So let's do table class table. So here we'll have We'll have an ID. Do we need an ID for anything? Let's put it in. Why not? Then amount. And then we want a status. Oh no, first let's do info, what it's for. Yeah, let's call it info. I don't know what to call it. Doesn't matter. We got amount, info, and status. Let's see what it looks like. And last one will be the actions that we can take on the payment request, and I assume for now it'll just be delete. Now we want to for each over requests. Come on. As request. Something wrong with my S on my keyboard, looks like, or with my finger. Now we want table row, table data, which will be request ID, then amount, and here we'll do the same thing, divided by 100.00, and then info, and the final one is the status. Actually, we can do this. Request status equals 0, which means unpaid. And now, actually, you know what? Let's utilize what was it? Get bootstrap, right? Get bootstrap.io. No. .com. Yeah. And we are using, I think we're using latest version. So where's the docs? Docs and forms components, alerts, badge. Badge is what we want. Secondary, nope. We want something. I thought it was called badge. We want like a red symbol when it's not paid, and a green symbol when it is paid. Not alerts. Toasts? No, what are toasts? Oh, these little things. Nice. Tooltips, also no. Figures. Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, so why is the badge only? Okay, we can let's do span. So in that case, let's do this. PHP if request status equals 0. Right? And for each, and if. So this will be displayed when it's not paid. So let's do span class bg danger not paid, something like that. And let's see how it looks, what it looks like. What is the class for the, or this? Okay, this is what I was looking for. Span. Okay, so we just need to do text background. Okay, not background, test background, but class badge. This is exactly what I was looking for. I don't know why I didn't see it at first. Yeah. So this is not paid, not paid, not paid. And let's add another payment request for this ticket that will be paid. 20 bucks paid for something there. And what it looks like. Well, nothing's gonna show here now. So now let's do the, we could do else over here, but I don't know if we're gonna have only 2 statuses. For now we do, but we might have more of them later. So let's do, we could, instead of this, we could use switch as well, but gonna, for now we're just gonna do this. So that will be span class badge text bg success, and that's paid. There you go. So if it's paid, we don't want to display like a delete button or anything like that, because it should no longer be able to delete. You no longer should be able to delete. So let's do this. If request status is 0, that's the only time we're gonna do stuff here. If it is unpaid, we can do a href. Nothing for now. Class button danger delete. So only on unpaid. Button SM, was it? Well, it is a little smaller. That's good enough. We don't want it too big, we don't want it too small either. Okay, and now to delete our request, what's our timing? 55 minutes. Okay, we're almost on time. The only thing we need to do now is add our ticket slash ticket ID slash delete, which will use the controller admin, and it will use action delete ticket. Delete what am I saying? Delete payment request. And the route will be called admin delete payment request, which means we can now use the router here. So this will be router URL. Route is called admin delete payment request. And I forgot of something. So ticket ID is our ticket track ID, and request ID is our request ID. So I forgot to include the request ID. We need to know what is our which request we want to remove. This is get route. You shouldn't use get routes to perform stuff like that. This is not the best approach, but again, this is the internal system. Actually, we don't need to actually delete it here, so this can redirect to the page where there is a confirmation. Are you sure you want to delete this request? And then you hit yes, and that actually posts. And but again, this is internal system, so we don't worry too much about stuff like that. Request ID slash delete. Okay. So if this works, let's see, it should refresh. No, missing route. Delete payment request. Admin dot delete payment request. Okay. And you can see at the bottom that our URL has been generated properly. If you click on it, we don't have that method in the controller. That is correct. Okay, shall we just add it? Let's see, we are exactly on 1 hour, so let's just take a break over here. No need to achieve too much. Let's just review what we did. We have configured a lot of stuff. We did a lot of stuff today. For an hour, that's not too bad. At least now we can actually see our tickets, our open tickets, and see how much clients owe us. And actually, let's do one last one last thing. On manage tickets, no, not manage ticket, on our dashboard, let's do but in the container. In the container, let's do another card. And if class card body, and if let's do h3 class card title total owed, or let's see, total unpaid, because it's not exactly owed. Total unpaid, and we want to total unpaid. And total unpaid, let's grab it, because we could do it here in the view, but I'm a strong opponent of doing logic in the view. Let's just have the controller action do everything and just return the everything processed to the view. Don't do a lot of logic in the view, or in fact don't do any logic in the view. Total unpaid, and that's an int. Manage ticket, dashboard, all tickets. Do we need another for each? We don't. Let's take this one here, total, here, and total. Alright, so that works the same, and total unpaid plus equals total, and this set total unpaid. Very simple change, and that gives us a lot. Total unpaid is $95. The only thing, let's make it a little more user-friendly. Divide by 100, add 00, add $, and bold it up. And now we have $95 in total unpaid charges. Alright, can't wait to see that in production. Alrighty, now we can stop the session. I think this will do. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.